everyone! My name is Tiffany. Welcome back, or welcome if you've never been here before. Today we're talking all things fan fiction. I'm really excited about this video, and it's gonna be a bit of a hodgepodge because not only has the Fan Fiction Readathon been announced by Jen, thank you for being an organized queen and organizing everything. I'm so glad that she asked me to host. I'll be hosting along with Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings and Mel from Mel Binds Fics on Instagram, and I'm just gonna take this opportunity to thank her because she graciously sent all of us binds, and I had to pick Manacled. This is absolutely stunning, and I cannot believe that she sent this out of the kindness of her heart. I mean, binding is really a labor of love. In fact, it's like giving me anxiety because the oils on my skin is getting on this dust jacket. But I mean, the red leather, get into it, the bookmark. I mean, this is absolutely stunning. I think she even hand painted on this. So I probably sat for like 30 minutes just staring at this. I can't believe it's in my hands. And I was just really moved by her kindness. So thank you, Mel. Okay. And I would definitely give her a follow. That is one of the prompts for this readathon because she has a ton of recommendations. I am still fairly new to fan fiction, so I'm excited to get into all of the reads that I have planned, which is why I do think this is going to be a hodgepodge of a video. I'm telling you, my insides are shaking. I don't want to crinkle anything on that. Okay, we're safe. I want to share some 5-star predictions that I have and also share how I found them. That was the learning curve for me when it came to fan fiction, because if it wasn't nudged to me by Jen, I really didn't know how to look for my next Manacled. So as I go through these 5-star predictions, I'm going to throw up the posts that led me to them, because unlike everything else, it is really the hype that leads me to download a fic. I normally don't do that, and it's not that I don't read hyped reads just because, especially if I'm into them. I will definitely pick up something that's highly anticipated. I like to do it right when it releases, and if there's a lot of hype that draws me into a book, I will wait until that's died down so I can get into that book and come to it with my own lens as opposed to everyone else's opinions, okay? But the lore of hype is really how I put my 5-star predictions together, because I do follow a lot of binders and fan artists, and when I see multiple people binding and creating art inspired by a fic, it usually catches my eye, especially if those accounts are already featuring fics that I've loved. So I'm gonna go over those right now. I also wanna give you the prompts that each of these fics fulfill for the readathon as we go through them. I'm gonna refer to my list, but I know that I wanna start with Breath Mints and Battle Scars by Onyx and Elm. This is supposed to be a true hate to love angsty Hermione pairing, okay, where it's set after the war and they all actually go back to Hogwarts to finish their final year, except this time Hermione is ostracized because she can't seem to move on like everybody else who's elated to go back to normal, so to speak. She is drowning in trauma, and that is where her and Draco can relate. I liked the idea of them trauma bonding. It seemed toxic and revealing, as well as the tag, okay, for hate steam drew my attention. So I definitely think this is going to be a 5-star read. And that's something else that I love about fan fiction, is that the tags are just well categorized. You're gonna be able to find any trope that you're looking for, as well as trigger warnings. So, which is also why I'm excited to read this next one. That's on the lighter side, which is Apple Pies and Other Amends by ToEatAPeach. I want a cozy autumnal read. This is supposed to be a slow burn. It's also set after the war as Hermione is healing from trauma, yet she leans towards baking. And she's not just doing it for herself, she's sharing it with fellow survivors no matter which side they fought on, which leads to her delivering to Draco. And I just can't wait for all of the descriptions of the food. It's also going to be a fairly quick one, being that it's 76,000 words. So I will definitely be reading this. And if you need a buddy read and to fill that prompt spot, you can do that with me. Next, I want to read Bring Him to His Knees by Musyc. This is another Hermione pairing where Draco is investigating a murder, so he needs a fake date and kink partner in order to do so. I love fake dating, okay, for all that it reveals and that blurred line of what is for show and what is real. I believe Jen has read this, so I should probably check her Goodreads rating. But I think that this is going to be a 5-star read for me. I mean, not only does it have fake dating, it's throwing a little kink in, and I always love that. I also think that this is going to fulfill 2 prompts on the bingo board because it's 250,000 words, which is called... Let me get the name for you because this is just so freaking cute. I love how she organized this. Superstar. Fix over 2K words, mark as 2 spots. So this one definitely fits that. I want to read Isolation by Bexchan. This is forced proximity, which is one of my favorite tropes because in my opinion, it's the most versatile. And this one, it's set during the time where they're hunting down Horcruxes and Snape forces Draco to stay in Hermione's room as a means of protection. And she stays behind. So they're forced to share this small, tiny space together, and I'm just here for it. It also looks like a tome of a read. And let me get the word count for this. Yes, this is 279,000 words about. So this will also knock out 2 spots for the readathon if you decide to pick it up. Love in a Time of Zombie Apocalypse by Rizzle. I'm so excited for this. It's another Hermione pairing, but it's set in a zombie apocalypse after the war. They're in need of a cure, which places Hermione in a position to have to work with Draco. I cannot wait to see why. I have seen so many people post this book, and even on Mel's page, she has a discreet cover feel, which I love. And she's posted it previously. Okay, so when I saw it a second time, I was like, I gotta download this book. And I think it was just the tags that called me. I remember seeing trauma bonding, light bondage, redemption Draco. We're even gonna be getting some domestic scenes, okay? So I know that this is a 10-year labor of love. I'm expecting it to be an epic saga, and I'm here for it. I do believe this is going to fill 3 spots on the bingo board. And oh, I'm almost forgetting a recent addition that was nudged to me by Jen. I think it's called Be My Baby by OneEqualTemper. All I needed to know was that it was an age gap Hermione and Daddy Kink. So I'm expecting her to be reading it. I'm gonna consider that to be my buddy read. And the last one for this in terms of 5-star predictions, because I'm very eager to get into this. It is a part of a new fandom. It's gonna knock out a lot of prompts on the bingo board, and it's a recommendation from Mel, and that is The Wolf by Yokan. This is a Caroline and Klaus pairing, okay? If you are a Vampire Diaries fan, this is actually set in the time of the originals, the spin-off show in season 1, where Caroline is kidnapped by Sophie Devereaux, and she just so happens to be pregnant with Klaus's child. I just can't wait to see how that works out for her. And like I said, this is gonna be a host recommendation. It's also gonna hit the No Wizards prompt. It also hits I Ship It, okay? A couple that should have been, if you know, you know. And it's broken screen. It's a fic based on a TV show. It's also a new fandom for me. So that's 5 spots on the bingo board, which is why I love that this is going to be a build your own. And honestly, if you just read Manacled, you would knock out all of your spots. And I think this is a good segue for me to give you some recommendations. This is my favorite fantasy romance of the year and my favorite fanfic to date. I'm always trying to beat this book. and it is a Harry Potter Handmaid's Tale mashup. I like to say the horrors of Handmaid's Tale are really amped up by the magic. It is set in a world created by the evil machinations of Voldemort, and he's implemented a breeding program now that they have Hermione imprisoned, who is one of the few who have survived. Everyone is dead. Harry Potter's dead, and he places Hermione in Draco's home to be a handmaid for him and his wife. There are a lot of secrets to uncover. This also has amnesia trope. It's set up in 3 separate parts. It is a saga, and what I absolutely loved was how we get to spend time with them in that HEA that is hard freaking won. The magical quagmires in this book just simply took me out. It's stunning. And it also shattered my judgment of fanfics, because quite honestly, I did not think I was going to get something like this from fan fiction, and like, I stand corrected, and now I'm hooked. Okay. The next favorite of mine, I'll say, is Contradictions by Ampersand. This is also a Hermione fanfic. It has BDSM as healing, where Hermione is having issues with intimacy. She's unable to climax, and when she shares that with Ron, he not only kink shames her, but it becomes the revelation that it's time to walk away. And so in true Hermione fashion, she does her research and she finds BDSM, which leads her to a club that pairs her with a dom who just so happens to be Draco. And I love the pacing in this, as well as just the depiction of what it takes to put together a dom and sub pairing. I love how aftercare is featured, how going over what one would desire and one's hard limits is covered. I think this is a good entry point to BDSM, and the praise in this is what really did me in. I just love this Draco. Like, I'm just like smitten by him. It's delicious. I love that Hermione is able to be validated just for being as opposed to doing, because she is a character that kind of prostrates herself for everyone else. And here she learns to be, and I just loved it so much. There's also a really good mystery element that is within this, and the plot was just, it was compelling. I was riveted and I was swooning, and it was everything. I also want to mention Safe Word is Devil's Snare by Shea Alani. I mean, this is what fan fiction is about. Okay, we deserved this Neville. And it also got me really interested in other pairings outside of, Hermione. This is Neville and Hermione. It's kind of like a soft arranged marriage, if you will, set in a time where after the war, the wizarding world are having reproduction issues. And so they set up a spell that can predict the perfect match. Hermione and Neville are paired, and it just feels like kismet and the culmination of his years of pining. And he is so patient with her, smitten. I love how he is such a stern alpha, but he's also a cinnamon roll when it comes to her. The way that he advocates for Hermione and empowers her voice, and his secret dark side of kink, how that's revealed, and just the emotional pull between them. I absolutely loved this book. This is 5-star. I definitely think that you should pick it up for this readathon. This is definitely a recommendation of mine. And I think I will mention Cybersex, okay, by Swedish Sorrows. That one was fun because in this book, it's very counter to all of the canon that I've read so far within like fan fiction, because in this world, no one has been to Hogwarts. Hermione and Draco do not know each other. And in this book, Hermione has an OnlyFans where she goes by Medusa, and she simply reads literary works and lingerie. Of course, her identity is concealed, and Draco is sinking his inheritance into this OnlyFans page because he has a voice kink. And so I love how they have a connection, that's sort of behind the scenes. And when he starts university, he suspects that Hermione is in fact Medusa because of the way in which she's answering questions and her unruly hair. And it's about them exploring one another. It's very kinky. It's a lot of fun. There is pegging as well as a ton of things that they explore together. And I definitely think you should pick it up if voice kink interests you. So I think I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I hope you found a recommendation. I hope you pick up some of my 5-star predictions along with me. This is definitely gonna be like the pool of books. This is the TBR that I'm gonna be pulling from, and I cannot wait. The readathon is going to be from November 1st to the 7th. There's going to be a live show on the 7th. I know that it's 5 p.m., PST. I will throw up the graphics, so I hope you can join us. And I can't wait. I'm going to link everything down below, everyone's pages. Please join us. This is the first fan fiction readathon ever, and I'm so excited. Thank you, Jen, for asking me to host, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for joining me. Please consider subscribing and sticking around, and bye.